It's fun.
We at Aquarius have been a fan of Matt's work for a while, a fan of his stand-up work for a long time, and we have often talked about him as a romantic comedy lead. So I think initially it was the idea of having a show that was not only starring Matt but kind of creatively driven by him as well.
We approached him to see if he had any TV ideas, and the other guy was one of them. So we instantly said, we love this and think it's got a lot of appeal and would love to develop it into a TV series. We knew that we needed some other writers to support Matt, given this was his first foray into television writing. And so we partnered him with Becky Lucas, who's another stand-up comedian that he's worked with a lot, and also Greg Waters, who's a really experienced script producer.
Becky Lucas and I would usually lie on my couch every single day and we'd just go over and over every single line and try to figure out the sharpest, best way to say things.
Matt and Becky knew the high points and low points of the series, but we shaped it into 6 episodes. They were flexible, creative, had a great sense of the dramatic, but they were happy to shift on anything that wasn't working and happy to have another go to make things better.
There was an episode with Stevie where she was asked out by a guy who sold her the morning after pill, and that happened to me. It's fun to give that story to another character. I'm done with that anecdote. She can have it.
When we were writing the series, we were thinking about directors, and there was one director whose name just kept coming up, and that was KACIE. She had not at that point done any long-form TV series, but she had done this great web series called Fragments of Friday, and it was really funny, and it was actually fairly similar to the style of comedy that we were sort of aiming for.
And I guess she was at that point in her career where she was looking for the next thing, and it felt like a kind of natural progression for her to move into a sort of more mainstream TV show. We met with her and really liked her vision for the show as well, and so she came on board and has been amazing.
It's been such a pleasure to work with KACIE. She's so great. She brings so much passion to the project. She was really excited from the get-go.
I read the pilot script and the pitch document, and it was a pretty easy yes from my end. It was just a script that kind of spoke to me tonally. It felt like something that was very much in the wheelhouse of my directing style. It's just a no-brainer. Of course, you would say yes to these producers who in Australia, the Aquarius team especially, I think are having a real moment, and I think they're a credit unto their own success. I've genuinely loved working with them, and it's been just a wonderful experience to have the trust of a team of producers like that.
The other guy was one of the first projects that we've partnered with E1 on as co-producers.
What I loved about the development process for The Other Guy is that a lot of people talk about being in development hell, and with The Other Guy it actually moved at the speed of light. Realistically, it was a bit of a baptism of fire for all of us, but it was certainly a really collaborative, close-knit team. So E1 International and also E1 in Australia worked really closely with Aquarius.
E1 have been really, really supportive in us pushing the tone and going for something that's not too pedestrian.
Always felt like we were making the same show. It always felt like we're on the same page.
With E1, we then took it to Stan, who really loved Matt and really loved the idea of the show.
Interestingly, The Other Guy for Stan was a really obvious choice, without a doubt. And when we went in and pitched it to them, they were really early supporters of it, particularly Rob Gibson, who's the head of originals, who really had a vision for the show that was really aligned with what Matt and Aquarius were trying to do.
I think it's really, really encouraging and really exciting to see an Australian platform who is unafraid to make bold content and to sort of push the boundaries with story and with style and tone and sort of go, no, we're making this kind of show and we're going to stand by it.
At Aquarius Films, we're really focused on telling kind of original, engaging stories for the international market. We don't have any particular genre that we are sort of drawn to, and this series fits into that mantra. It's set in Sydney, but it could easily be translated to any international city, and we hope that it will have sort of widespread appeal.